All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Spectrum Lab. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you each one, and that way you can figure out which elements it's made of. Okay, so here I'm going to show you how to do the first one, and then you have to do 8 more, and they're all in the video. Okay, so if we look right here, and I know it's glared just a little bit. Okay, I'm trying to get it to where it's not glared. Okay, right here, you see all those lines? There are 2 elements that make them up. Okay, so we got to figure out, we got to look at these numbers, okay? So like this one is at 700, you know, right here, these patterns, okay? And we got to go over here and figure out what elements, 2 elements combine to make these patterns, okay? So if we go over here, okay, this is the pattern for helium. We got to look over here and see if that matches. And helium has a number right past this 700 mark. If you see that right there, it's right past 700. If we go over here, look, that same line matches this line. Okay? So this has helium in it. And if you notice that like 500, if we go over here, that same line is there again. Okay, so now we got to figure out what other element goes with this. Okay, so we're going to go over here. Let's see. Carbon, no, we didn't have a line here. Lithium, maybe. There was a line past the 650. Maybe, because there's a line right there. But if you look, lithium has a line past 600. That line did not exist over here. So that's not lithium. Okay, so we go down. Maybe strontium. Okay. Let's see. Strontium had a line, maybe 650. I'm looking, what I'm doing, I'm looking at these patterns here. Oh, and there was one, that one had one, but see, it has all these little lines down here. You know what? There's not these 2. Let's go over here and look at these. Look at this one here. See all those little lines right there? Okay? It's the only one that has these lines right here. Okay? Look right here. Look. They match this over here. And that is oxygen. So the answer to number 1, there's 2 elements. So you have, we already decided it's helium and oxygen right here. If you put those 2 elements, those 2 lines together like that, you get this pattern. Okay? So if you look on the answers, I've wrote helium and oxygen. Okay, I'm going to go over here to number 2. And what I'm going to do, okay, and you might have to fast forward and rewind the video. Okay, this is number 2, and then trying to get it to where you don't have a glare. Okay, so now here is the elements. You might have to rerun and fast forward. This is hydrogen. I'm going to tip it this way. Oxygen. That next one is neon. Cadmium. Okay. So like, I'm going to turn it. So that is that screen. Okay. And there's your example again. These are the other ones. So now you got to compare and figure out what 2 elements make up that number 2. Okay? Now, all right, again, here's your element. And you'll have to kind of go back and forth in the video to figure out which ones make that up. Because I can't really get them all in the video because it would be like this. Okay? So I'm trying my best here. Okay? So I'm trying to see if... So right here is number 3. Okay? And here's, again, here's the examples of the elements. And if I scroll out, there is those two put together. So try to figure out which element, two elements make up those lines there. I'm trying to, here's the other one. Okay, which two element makes those patterns up? Here's this one. I'm trying to get where helium's not glared. Okay, and here's this one. So again, you're coming up with two elements that make up number 3. Okay, I'm going around to the next lab table. And this person didn't tape this one down, so maybe I try to figure out how to get them all on the screen. So, nope, it's not going to work. So, you're trying to figure out what elements make up this one right here. This is number 4. Which two elements make this up? And I'll do this. Which two elements make this up? Okay, it could be one from this paper, one from this paper, or it can be 2 from this paper, 2 from this paper. It doesn't, excuse me, there's not any combination. It just has to be 2 elements. Okay, which 2 elements make up this star? Because what happens is that the star emits light and we record, and it gives us a pattern, and that pattern is the elements that make up the star. So here's number 5. Again, here's one picture, and here, and I'm going to have trouble getting this one on. Here's the other one, and I'm going to try to swing it around. Which 2 elements make up that picture right there? Okay. Now, this one right here, here's number 6, because we're doing, okay, and I told these guys I'm going to untape these. Well, we'll try to anyway. I told these guys to tape them closer, and they didn't listen. That way you can see them better. There's that one. I'm trying to get it to where it's not glared. Okay. And here is, I'm going to untape this one again. They put it too far. It should be just like this. And I'm going to try to get the glare off again. So you have those, and then this. So you got to figure out which 2 elements make this up. Okay? And we're going to come over here. This is number 7. Which 2 elements make this up? So you got to look at all these little patterns right here and figure out which patterns over here. Okay? And which patterns are over here. Okay, so like this one right here has all these little purple lines down here. Which one of these has the little purple lines? Okay, so you got to figure out which 2 elements make that up. And then we're going to go to the next one. This is number 8. Okay, there's this number 8. Which 2 elements? So you got to look. See this line right here? Is there an element over here that has that same pattern? And there's always 2. Which 2 elements? And I'm having trouble. Let me untape this one here. Okay. Of course, I ripped the tape off. Ladies, you're going to have to tape some of these down. I'm sorry. Okay, here's this one. This is number 8. Which 2 elements make this up? Okay. All right, here's the very last one, number 9. Okay, here's your pattern. Which 2 elements, okay, make up, and this one's a little far, which 2 elements make this up? Okay, all right. So, sorry, you're trying to find 2 elements. What happens, the lines are a combination of 2, and you're going to have to kind of scroll the video a little bit to try to pause it in order to figure out which 2 elements. Remember, I showed you how to do number 1, and number 1 was oxygen, and I think we said helium, and I'll put that on the answers. Remember, because here's number 2. Number 1, remember we figured out that the pattern matched the helium, and it was also oxygen put together with helium. Okay, so that was how we figured that out. So Hopefully you can do 2 elements for 8 different stars, because these are stars and we're trying to figure out what elements make them up. Okay, keep in mind that the most 2 common ones are hydrogen and helium. You probably have at least a hydrogen or a helium in most of your answers. Not all, but most of them. At least one of the 2. Okay, because hydrogen and helium is the most common element in the universe. All right, hopefully you can do this lab, get your answers, and we will see you on Monday. Have a good day.